Yeah, I look like Bart from Simpson. Anyway, do curfews keep teenagers out of trouble? Well, I think they certainly uh, it will somewhat mitigate the chance of teenagers doing reckless thing and destroying stuff or even commit crime in to some extent. Uh, for example, like you know, making rules that will ban teenagers, right, from teenagers from uh, getting out of the house by 10 p.m., for example. While, of course, in most circumstances, it will prevent them from, like, going outside, meeting bad people, or even like getting in trouble, like get jumped or something. There is a chance that, well, since adolescents they are a very rebellious stage, means that they will do many things in their abilities to like do against the rule, except if this curfews is is used like endorsed by actual parliament. I wouldn't think that it will have like a very strong effect if that's from like family. It's not as strong as government, but yeah, it. I think in most cases it will prevent them from getting into trouble, but there are still something to consider, especially teenager psychology, right? Do children really understand the dangers of internet? And definitely not, because as they say, children is like a white paper. They don't know anything, right? They haven't developed a lot of concepts or uh, anything like that. So of course they wouldn't be able to like make assessment and prejudice. What is good for them and what is bad for them, right? And that is the danger of internet, right? It's not just like the internet itself, but it's also its power to shape a human being from a very young age. Personally, as a child, at least I used to, now I am a teenager. I remember myself exposed to like a lot of things on the internet, and it really gives me a false sense of reality, and even in some case kind of taught me some of the very negative and bad lesson from there also. I don't think that they even know exactly what else they are looking at. Is children's behavior getting worse or better? I think children's nowadays, at least to my experience, is getting worse. In a lot of uh, things, For example, I noticed that children's nowadays, like compared to my generation and older generations, they are less resilient. They are less resilient to like stress and trouble and stuff. I mean, I am me myself. I am not exactly the best person with it. I'm not exactly a person who have a very good like emotion control, you know, ability. I don't even I can't even cope with stress that great, but especially like my younger brother generation, which is like fifth grade now. I think I am in 10th and yeah, 10th grade. So that's a huge gap. But nevertheless, they are worse, like mentally weaker. A lot of them, they are also uh, ex- they are they are also very easy to get distracted by like internet or so, because they get exposed to like smart devices way more than like for someone like me, right? And their behavior, for example, like their manners are also worse. They so rebellious that I think it's just so like weird. Like they very rebellious or outright rude to adults. Now I don't know if this is a trend, but uh, children nowadays really like to swear, like extremely like to swear. I'm a teenager, I swear, of course, but children, like kids, like 2 3 years younger than me, they swear a lot. I can't even swear until I was in like 6th or 7th grade. So that's a huge concern, because that means that they don't have like they don't know the wave of their voices. They don't know the wave of what they are talking about. So it's over just create a very toxic environment for younger generations over time, you know. So yeah, definitely getting worse. Although they do get a lot more intelligent, because they are getting the more uh, state of the art, you know, source source of information. They are get a way more advanced education system than their older counterpart. But the manners, the mental stability, I would say, is overall worse than the previous one. All professional athletes pay too much. I would, I would not necessarily say so. Although I think, yeah, maybe in some case, but most of the time I don't think that they are getting overpaid or overrated. First of all, being an athlete require you to have at least some talent in this field, right? At least you have to enjoy it. You know how to move your body like gymnastic or soccer. You need to train endlessly every day. For example, a professional swimmer can train for more than half a day just to like be like a 1 second faster. I swim myself, so I know to get even 1 second faster is a lot of challenging and a lot of hard work into it, right? And also, it's there's also several, sides to it. They are an athlete is also a person who is very influenced to like people in lots of way. For example, like Messi or Ronaldo or Mbappe, I guess they they all influence a lot of people, and they get a lot of commercial, and they celebrity started, they make endorsement and things like that, and they also get paid extra by this company because they are famous and they are very appealing to a lot of people. And lastly, an athlete career can last very short, if you know what I mean. A simple injury like a broken leg, well, that's not very simple, isn't it? Like, you just get your ankle will get fracture or something. Can cost you a lot of time, and athlete is in a career that stand well with Like they are not very good at you know long-term career, because an athlete's performance can hinder once they reach like 30 or so, except if you are a very exceptional one. Most of them will start to see their downfall and start to like slow down or have less worse accuracy, or like weaker in general, and they are forced to retire in a very young age, like compared to other you know occupation. For example, a doctor, the longer you live, right, the older you get, the more experience you have, the more control and mental health, when dealing with like surgeries and stuff. But an athlete is almost depends on their body. They might be smart, they might know what they are gonna do, but they're just not strong enough to do it, right? For example, like Lee Chong Wei, right? He has retired not because that he is weak or anything. He's still like one of the best badminton players around, but cancer got away to him, and he's forced to retire because strong activity will push his cells to accelerate. And yeah, accelerating cells, it's what causes cancers, right? So he's forced to retire, and now he's not making any money anymore. Well, except like advertisement or maybe becoming a coach. But aside from that, most athletes will have to retire to at least become a coach or have to do something else, because they just can't like cope with the current game anymore. So I don't think so. I don't think they are overpaid. I think it's well deserved for a career with such short time.